It started as a cartoon. It's been customized full scale. I'm doing it in a tabletop size today. Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to MapleLeaf Customs in Switzerland. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is this cute little Hot Wheels Kool Kombi, a very popular casting. This is going to be a first for me. Not working on the Kombi, I've done that before, but my inspiration pick is a cartoon. A regular viewer and friend of the channel sent me this picture, and it came with a bit of a challenge. The very talented artist goes by Johnny Jalopy. I'm doing you the service of leaving several links in the description of this video for all the ways you can find his excellent artwork. If you're not already familiar with Johnny Jalopy, I encourage you to visit and become one of his newest followers. Thanks for doing that. I'm going to refer back to that original inspirational cartoon pic throughout this video to show you the steps that I'm following to make it as close as possible to his original vision. The Kombi comes apart just like every other Hot Wheels does. There's the red interior. I'll only be using the front half of that. And a bonus discovery is it's clear, smoked glass. I thought it was red originally. See, it looked like it was. I'm happy it's not. I'm not going to use the base or those wheels, but I'll file them away and put them in the boneyard drawer for future reference. This custom job is going to require extensive cutting, so I carefully mask off the parts that I want to take away. X for a dummy like me reminds me which part is refuse. Remember shop safety and be all goggled up, especially if you're going to use a saw attachment on your rotary tool like I am here. I find it's a little more robust than the jeweler's saw, and if you're careful you can cut a nice straight line. But of course when you're done, it always requires a little bit of filing. I do that with a drum sanding attachment, and also with some hand files, just so it's smooth to the touch. And it gives me some sharp inside corners that I'm looking for too. I'm a Magnus Walker fan, and I do like his Urban Outlaw tampos, but off they come with the paint stripper. Here's everybody's favorite time-lapse segment, mine too. And before you know it, I'm down to some bare metal, which requires another attachment on the Dremel tool, unlike this little bullet-shaped, tightly wrapped wire attachment. More than the wire wheel, this doesn't throw little bristles around all over my hobby desk and into my t-shirt, and it does an equally sufficient job. Look at that. I saved the tailgate from the original Kombi. Remember, it was in a raised position initially. I used that for my new tailgate. But I have to give some attention to the roof because this is where the fabric part of the open-air roof begins, and I need to smooth that right off and level it out to fit with the artist's original concept in the cartoon. Some JB weld is applied to the inside corners to permanently secure the tailgate. I've cut some rough shapes out of styrene plastic that will get smoothed out very soon, don't worry about that. And Eppo putty is what I'm going to use to form the smooth contours of the roof as it needs to be. That's an enjoyable part of the process for me. Then a little extra goes on the seam along the tailgate to blend all the pieces together. Okay, have to let that dry up. And you can see I filled in the front wheel wells with JB weld also. The next day it goes into some primer. This will require some sanding and attention, but that's still to come. I hope you'll be tuned in to all of the videos immediately in the future on my channel, including a Diecast International Builders Big Rig, a redline restoration of a classic 57 T-Bird. The Four Horsemen build for February is on a Mardi Gras theme, and also at the end of the month is part 2 of the super huge, ginormous build-off. And you're all invited to help me celebrate my YouTube channel's 4th anniversary with the Porsche Invitational in mid-March. I 3D printed a set of hot rod tires for this build with some big fatties to go on the back and a set of BBS spoked wheels in the front. I ended up not using these ultimately, but they did come in handy when I was dry fitting all of the cut up parts to get the right sizing. Here you can see I did one more cut along the bottom edge to match the cartoon. A lot more sanding and priming, and now it's ready for the main color. And I'm going with some Vallejo Premium Basic Blue. The little Kombi is so small, I almost blow it away with my airbrush. But after a couple of careful treatments, it comes out looking very nice. And I always hold my breath when I'm unmasking, with hopes of a flawless paint job. This one came out very well. I'm so pleased. Today's community shoutout, which is a regular feature here, goes to Adam Le Breton, a YouTube channel with only 11 subscribers, so I'm asking you to help me pump those numbers up and to give a fellow diecast enthusiast a little traction. Full Custom Garage YouTube channel features the amazing customizing work of Ian Roussel. I've left a link in the description for a 2-parts episode where he takes the Johnny Jalopy cartoon and fabricates a 1-to-1 scale real-life custom hot rod. It's awesome and you're going to enjoy that very much. Ian is nothing short of a magician with sheet metal and a torch. They brought in Johnny the artist to check it out. Touchdown! It really is a spectacular job, just look at that. Amazing how Ian brought the cartoon to life. Well, back to my humble efforts, and I'm at the decal stage now. Using lots of the picks that I found, I made my own setup. I do it in 2 stages. This is the Johnny Jalopy logo. I'm going to put that on the tonneau cover as an homage to the artist. Very fitting, I think. Here's the number 5 in a ghost white decal that goes on top of the black base background that I laid down first. And it looks like this, with some clear coat on top of everything that was applied the next day, after the decals had cured. I fitted the rear axle with a new set of Samad wheels Dragster series on the back. You can see a little drive shaft and a diff that I put in there, made out of styrene. I want to encourage you to visit samadwheels.com to place an order for your next custom or restoration job. I'm confident that in their huge inventory, they've got exactly what you're looking for. Now you can compare my work with Ian Roussel's. Don't look too closely. I like this 3D printed engine that I've used a couple of times simply because of the amazing and intricate details. Look at the lead wires and the fan belt. I sprayed mine in chrome and I carefully place it on my scratch-built front end. Looks like that, snugged right up to the chassis and the drivetrain. This is a 3D printed grille. This was not part of Johnny Jalopy's cartoon, but it's something that Ian included in his, so I'm combining both artists' efforts together in mine. Finally, I added a couple of features you'll see here. The quad exhaust extensions on both sides. There's a side view mirror as per the original cartoon, and a MapleLeaf Customs number 283 license plate on the back. And that's the final look that I got. There's the artist logo prominently displayed, and my little logo on the bottom, if it ever gets flipped over for inspection. Well, that took a lot of work and fabrication on my part, so I can appreciate the hard work that went into the full custom garage job. But check it out, mine's pretty fast. And we all say thank you to Johnny Jalopy for providing so much inspiration with his artwork. I thought the Kool Kombi fit the bill the best out of all the Hot Wheels models that are available, and this is what I came up with. I invite you to leave a respectful comment below to tell me what you think. I've reached out to Johnny Jalopy via email, and he replied instantly. I wrote that I would like to send this to him as a gift, and my humble thank you for all of the inspiration from his artwork to me and the rest of the car enthusiast community. I hope it'll find a special place in his collection, and maybe elicit a Kool Kombi-sized smile. I made up a custom display case with a certificate of authenticity on a holographic sticker. There's the Johnny No. 5 original cartoon on a graffiti wall. In goes my creation, and that's how it'll get shipped out. Thank you again, Johnny. Here's one more plug for his Facebook page. Links in the description, don't forget to visit. Thank you for watching another one of my videos today. Drive carefully. It's coffee time.